Thank you for coming today to the U.S. Department of Energy 2021 Solar Decathlon webinar on Into the Shark Tank. This webinar today is for both our Design Challenge and Build Challenge teams. So we have a little something for everyone today. Today joining me, my name is Rachel Romero. I'm the Design Challenge Competition Manager. I have Joe Simon, the Build Challenge Competition Manager, Taylor Ryan, our project support, as well as Rachel Schultz and Elizabeth Franzen from the University of Arizona, who are Design Challenge 2020 division winners. So today we're going to be going over some competition details that are both relevant to both the Build Challenge and the Design Challenge, and then giving specifics for each challenge. From there, we have some more information about how to access the competition event, as well as from inside the Shark Tank, Elizabeth and Rachel are going to be sharing some great information from the student perspective. We'll be closing out with some next steps as you prepare for the competition event. So it's only a few weeks until the competition event. We're really excited to be hosting you. This year is a virtual event, and there will be individual presentations from both the Design and Build Challenge. So if you're participating in one or the other, we'd encourage you to check out the other one. There's going to be a great opportunity to connect with jurors and other industry professionals. And even though it's virtual, you can meet with other solar decathletes. We have a great community coming together, and we hope you'll take advantage of it. So for the Solar Decathlon competition event, there's a lot going on. So we really encourage you to make sure you get all the information to participate in it. So on Thursday, April 15th, we are starting with an all faculty meeting. All of the faculty have been invited to that and should have the information on that. In the evening, we'll have an all team opening celebration. This is for both Design and Build Challenge teams. Then on Friday, Build starts with their presentations at 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and Design starts at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight. And those are really the individual team presentations. In the afternoon, we have all team events together. We'll have a thought leader speaker and a virtual tour of some of the NREL facilities that we're super excited to share with you. From there, if your Design Challenge team is interested in learning about Build Challenge, or your team is interested in repeating Build Challenge, we'll have a session on bringing your design to life with the Build Challenge in the future edition. We'll have some of our first Build Challenge contest announcements as well on Friday evening. On Saturday, we will have more of the presentations from the teams. So again, Build and Design will be simultaneously giving presentations. In the afternoon, we have our all team project showcase, where you'll get to see all of the other team projects. This is a great opportunity to hear from others, and you'll have the opportunity to share about your project with people outside of your division or outside of your challenge. We will have the Design Challenge bonus awards. So some of our extra, more fun awards, and a few more Build Challenge contest announcements. Then on Sunday, April 18th, this is really the celebration of all the work that you've done. We'll have division awards for Design Challenge in the morning. That will be our first, second, and third place teams. And then our Build will share more contest awards. Then we will have a Career Connections event. Very excited about this, where you'll get to interact with our industry partners. We will have our grand juror presentations. Our first place teams for Design Challenge will be presented and given away our grand winner awards. And then Build will have overall winner for the Build Challenge, which is super exciting. So a little bit more on the all team showcase. it is a virtual multimedia showcase. All competing teams are invited to participate. You can bring PowerPoint, video, Matterport walkthrough, images to share at the all team showcase. And this is an opportunity again to connect across divisions and across both design and build challenge. So we hope you'll participate in that. Also, we want to highlight career connections. We have all these amazing jurors that you're going to see some slides on here shortly that are participating in both the design challenge and the build challenge, who are super excited to meet you and may have some great opportunities for you to connect for potential jobs or just really mentorship at this event. So come meet the industry professionals. You are welcome to share your resume and we'll have an opportunity for that. And just build your network and connections for future opportunities. So take this time before the competition event to edit your resume, make sure it's up to date, and bring that with you to that event. So we did want to share before we get going some presenting best practices. We've learned these over the years, and we've got some past students who are going to be sharing with you, but some pro tips to start off. And we're doing this too as we prepare for the competition event. First, practice, practice, practice. Timing is key. Each presentation slot has a set amount of time, and to make sure that you get all your content across in that time is really important. If you can, tell a story. Share your story of your building and your occupants and the design that you've put together. And then really back that up with building science. This is a building science competition, and you've done a lot of great work behind your project. Know your audience. The juror bios have been provided to teams and they're posted online. And each juror brings a unique perspective. So there might be something that you can speak to that juror. If you need to, write a script. You might need to make sure you get some points across. So write a script and ensure that you're getting all that information across. Also, practice in Zoom. We're going to be using Zoom for the competition. So you might do a practice, have some mock jurors, and practice answering those questions. This is where your industry partners come in handy. And then incorporate outside feedback. So if you do that practice, get feedback from them. Another thing is consider your setup and background. So is there enough light on your face? Can people see your face and your features clearly? Are you close enough to the camera? Do you have the right internet connection? Is your connection good? Please make sure that your computer is at eye level. This allows it to feel like you're sitting right there. I said good lighting. We said practice, practice, practice. And then turn off your camera when not speaking. This helps the jurors to focus on the speaker. And we use this a lot as the organizers, is to over smile. Because you're not in person, and when you are on camera, the over smiling helps. So for all of this, we hope you have fun and really enjoy this experience of the competition weekend, as it is a really important and special experience overall. So now I'm going to go into a few specifics on the design challenge. So we have 3 weeks until the competition event, as we've outlined. On March 30th, you're going to be submitting your design portfolio. This is the big package. Once you do that, you'll also be submitting on April 6th your presentation recording. So that's your 20-minute presentation recording, and you'll be submitting that to Box. From there, on the 13th, you'll submit your presentation slides and your optional film. This is also when you'll complete event registration on the Hoova app that Taylor is going to be showing us here shortly. So as we said, the 20-minute presentation is recorded. This is submitted before April 6th. The jurors will be looking at this before they meet you. Then you'll be giving, during the competition weekend, an 8-minute live presentation. You'll be giving that to your panel of division jurors. And again, we have our tip here: practice, practice, practice that 8-minute presentation live. Our jurors are going to love interacting with you. So here are the design challenge jurors. We have 4 jurors on each of our 7 divisions, and they are a great group representing the industry and our sponsors that are really invested in the work that you're doing. So you can read more about them on the Solar Decathlon website. So the jurors will be selecting first, second, and third place winners. And don't forget, if you are a first place winner, which I hope your team is aiming for, you will then get to present to our grand jury. We're very excited to have Nora Wang Esrem, Annika Landrenau, and Nick Schwedler as our grand jury this year. They will be then selecting from our first place winners a residential grand winner and a commercial grand winner. So I hope you are setting your sights on being first place in your division and giving that presentation live to the competition event. So with that, I am going to turn it over to Joe Simon, the Build Challenge competition manager.
Thanks so much, Rachel. So for the Build Challenge, we have a number of differences from the Design Challenge. We're very excited for all of the teams to be able to present to the juries and to be able to present to each other in this process. So to explain why this is different, we can see that the Build Challenge is made up of 10 independent contests. 6 of these contests have standalone juries, and 3 of them are measured, where we evaluate the temperature, humidity, energy performance, sound levels, and other similar activities for each built house. And one of them is made up of multiple inputs from different juries. But ultimately, each of these 10 contests is independently scored by an independent process, and the team that has the most points overall wins the competition. We will announce winners and individual scores for each of those 10 contests. So the process is a little bit different from our Design Challenge. Just as intensive, just as engaging, but we're excited to see how the teams are able to go through this process. You can see in this example on the right that the team differences can be as few as a partial point or many points between places, but every portion matters. Next slide. In the Build Challenge, the teams have already submitted your jury deliverables. So thank you for that effort. They're now being reviewed by the juries. They're understanding the construction drawings, the specifications, your jury narratives, and other activities, ultimately preparing for presentations on April 16th or 17th. As we see on the next slide, you'll notice that for the Build Challenge, the teams specifically produce different deliverables for each of the juries. So there's a standalone written narrative for architecture, for market potential, for presentation, etc. There's also professional architectural photography of the existing house, the complete set of construction drawings, construction specifications, and a 3-minute audio-visual presentation, a little bit different than what Rachel just talked about. As mentioned with the calendar before, each jury will meet to discuss each team in advance, so they'll be prepared with questions and concerns to address when you're able to connect with that jury. In addition, each jury will be able to see the Matterport digital twin of each team's design. On the next slide, we will see that the teams get 30 minutes with each jury. This is a private session. Unlike the Design Challenge, where the teams can see each other present, for the Build Challenge, historically, the teams would tour the jury through their individual house. And that's just what's going to take place in this virtual edition. Each team is given 15 minutes to tour their project. This could be some combination of slides, video, a video live walkthrough as they carry their phone through the house. It could be using the Matterport tour that we provide, but all of you as Build Challenge teams, or for those considering that, you can think about how you tell your story in a really effective way. We'll then have about 10 minutes for question and answers from the juries and about 5 minutes for transitioning to the next team. As you can see here, we encourage you to think, as Rachel already mentioned, about your lighting, your positioning, and your engagement. Think about your team structure. This was the Texas Germany house shirt that was created for that team to show some of that activity. We also have the Washington University St. Louis had some individual branding. Even if your team has to be apart, think about how you can tell the story of your design, of your house or your solution in really interactive and engaging ways to show the jury how you work together throughout the last several months. Next slide. So also for the Build Challenge, we have independent juries for each of the juried contests. So you can see for architecture, presentation, engineering, financial feasibility and affordability, market potential and resilience, there's a wide range of expertise, backgrounds, focuses of their professional knowledge, and they're really excited to give feedback to you and your team. More information is available at solardecathlon.gov on these teams as well. Next slide. So for the Build Challenge, you'll meet with each team and each jury independently. So these are private. So for example, at 9 a.m. Eastern, the Netherlands team and the students from the Netherlands team, you'll be able to meet directly with the architecture jury in a private session. So in parallel, that will be the financial feasibility and affordability for Kansas State, and in parallel, an opportunity for Chile to meet with the engineering jury. This will continue throughout the day, but there will be opportunity for sharing each team's story publicly with our all-team project showcase and other related events, but really looking forward to seeing what all of our Build Challenge teams are able to do in presenting to the jury. Next slide. Ultimately, we encourage teams to really think about how you tell your story. There's a combination of your brand, your messaging, your school, and meeting all of the criteria in the rules. For the Build Challenge, each of the juried contests has independent juried contest criteria. So make sure you read those and think about how you're proving to the jury that you deserve all the points in resilience, all the points in architecture or similar. Think about how they understand your project, your solution, your team, and the impact that your design will have on the community now and for years to come. Next slide. With that, I'll turn it over to Taylor to walk through the Hoova app. Taylor?
I will start sharing my screen here. Okay, so we will be using Hoova as our event application for the Solar Decathlon competition event. Hoova is an app with both mobile and web versions, so you can access the mobile app on your phone or tablet, as well as the web app on your laptop or desktop. And mainly we will be using Hoova for event registration, agenda access for attendees with Zoom links to specific event activities, announcements and polls from the Solar Decathlon organizers, photo sharing, and more. So the first step is to complete event registration through the Hoova app. So we will send this link out to all attendees. We'll also send a password with this link, so you'll actually be routed to a page first to input your password and then go to the event registration. And the event registration page will look like this. You'll have 45 minutes to input all of your basic information, including your name, email address, and then you'll also have specific questions based on your role for the competition event. So you can see all the roles that we'll have here. You'll get conditional sub-questions, depending on choose faculty. Once you complete registration, you'll download and access the Hoova web and mobile apps. And make sure that you access or sign in rather using the email address you used to complete event registration. So this is the Hoova web app, which you can access on a laptop or desktop. And you'll see you'll be routed first to the main homepage here with pictures from our 2020 Build Challenge contestants and then 2020 Design Challenge from last year. And mainly you'll see this main navigation here on the left-hand side. The most important feature of the Hoova web app is the agenda section here. So the agenda section will have each agenda session from Thursday, April 15th through Sunday, April 18th. And what you'll be able to do is actually click into each agenda session. And I'll start here with the Solar Decathlon All Team Opening Celebration. And in here, you'll be able to see all speakers and bios. You'll be able to see polls, session-specific polls from the organizers. You'll be able to add and remove sessions to your particular agenda within Hoova. And most importantly, you'll be able to access Zoom links for each of the agenda sessions throughout the competition event. And we'll have those Zoom links as part of this view live stream button. So for this particular event, you can see it'll bring you right to the Zoom webinar registration. And then we'll also at the bottom of each agenda session in the web app have Zoom access details here. So that is the agenda section. Another important section is this attendees section here. And here you'll be able to see each attendee of the competition event who has registered and downloaded the Hoova event app. And so I'll go into Amanda's profile here. You'll be able to see her bio, where she works, her education, and even build out social account links. So you can link your LinkedIn profile to your Hoova attendee profile as well. And with that, you can direct message any of the attendees in the competition event and basically a different way to connect and network with other folks at the competition event here. Finally, in the community tab here, we have discussion topics and social groups, and you'll actually be able to earn points for engagement in the community tab. So every time you post in one of these discussion topics or share a photo, you'll actually earn points on the leaderboard and then be entered for a chance to win extra swag, Solar Decathlon swag from the organizers. So this is the Hoova web app, and I will switch my screen to start sharing from the Hoova mobile app. Okay, so for the Hoova mobile app, it's not an either or. You can access the app and the mobile app. The app looks pretty similar to on the bottom ribbon bar, same features as that app. So you have your home page with the event dates, event description. You have your agenda tab, attendees tab, community, and messages. The main differences with the Hoova mobile app are that you'll be able to enable notifications on the Hoova mobile app, and that will allow the organizers to deliver special event notifications and announcements directly to you through the app via a push notification. So please enable notifications in the mobile app if you'd like to get those updates from the organizers throughout the event. Another fun feature of the mobile app is under this additional resources section, you can hit the photos button and you can actually share photos with other attendees. You can see here I shared a photo just today. And with that, again, you'll be able to earn points to then climb the leaderboard under the additional resources section. So we can see Rachel is in first place right now. And we will have additional Solar Decathlon swag ready for the trailblazers on the leaderboard. So this is again, the Hoova mobile app, and both the Hoova mobile app, the web app, and the event registration will become available on Tuesday, March 30th. And we ask students to complete their event registration by April 13th.
Great. Thank you, Taylor. Appreciate that. That was a great overview of Hoova. All right. We will continue now into the Shark Tank, where Rachel and Elizabeth have already been, and they're going to share with us their experience as winners from last year and give us some tips and tricks. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you for the introduction. My name's Rachel and I'm here with Ellie. We're going to be representing the Loop, last year's mixed use multifamily division winner, and our other team member, Hao Wang. Thank you. We organized this. We've just got a few slides from our presentation to show you guys to help give you some tips on presenting virtually for the Solar Decathlon. We really want to encourage you guys to let your personality shine when you're presenting. This can help you when you're organizing your presentation to make sure team members who did certain parts of your presentation get to speak about those parts of their presentation, because then you get to hear all that care and that time that you put into that topic shine.
Yeah, so visual storytelling, especially over Zoom, where people have been talking for a long time, is very important. So reiterating your key ideas through visual storytelling is a very powerful tool that we encourage you all to try and use. So an example of that we have here is we approached the project very holistically, where we looked at multiple scales and then multiple ideals through each scale, and looking at the project holistically through the social impact, economic impact, and ecological impact. And then being able to not just talk about that, but have a visual while talking about that was incredibly important. And then keeping that key idea throughout the project. So repeating the visual, which for us was that loop throughout the project, can really help drive your ideas home. You want to go ahead and advance to the next slide.
So we took this big picture that we came up with that helped drive pretty much our entire design process. And we broke it down depending on the different parts of your guys' competition. So we made it, if you don't mind going back a slide. So we made it really, really clear when we were talking about energy performance, when we're talking about engineering. So your judges watching are going to know, like, pay attention here, you know, and it'll help you guys organize your slides so you don't miss anything important.
And another thing that I think helps when you're talking about, at least presentation wise, if you're smiling, even if you can't see your face, like we pre-recorded one of the presentations, you couldn't see us talk about it. If you're smiling, even if you're nervous, even if you like don't necessarily, if you weren't passionate about that part of the project, it sounds like you're excited. That little tip or trick is kind of fun.
We also stuck these little bubbles in the bottom right corner of our presentation slide. So even if you couldn't see us talking over Zoom, it was clear who was talking. I think that helps make it a little bit more personable and help your personality and you as a. And we also had that little icon in the top left, which is where we were reinforcing both our goals and the presentation or the competition. You can go ahead to the next slide. Another example of our strong, simple diagrams where you're really pushing your overall goal. This was how our presentation worked into a bigger fabric of where it could be replicated and what it was going to change about the society around it, you know. So having this really strong overall idea helped drive all the little details in our project and help you talk about it in a way that is really applicable to the real world.
So I think the best advice we could give is know your passions and let those really shine through your work. I think that if you're competing in this competition, you do know how to design sustainably, but there's a reason you want to design sustainably. And there's a reason you designed the project where you designed. Let the community aspect show, let the things that make you really excited show through. Tell that story, tell it very clearly through, like, allow each slide to answer a question, very clear question, so that it's easy to follow, and just let that really passionate story shine through, and there's no way that you could go wrong.
I've also heard a lot of really good tips and tricks so far in this webinar. I want to highlight researcher judges. This is something that our professor made us do, and we all actually like had a discussion and presented as if we were our judges, and it helped us out a lot. It helped us answer some questions and be really prepared for, you know, what they were going to be thinking when they were watching our presentation. So thank you guys very much. The presentation portion went really successfully to us because we practiced a lot and we were really passionate about our work. So we encourage you guys to do the same.
Practice, practice.
Great. Thank you, Rachel and Elizabeth. Appreciate that perspective. I love the simplicity of your slides and just to see what you've brought to the competition and that you were successful in doing that. So thank you so much. All right, now what? So it's kind of a sprint to the finish. I know there's a lot between now and the competition event, but make sure you submit your final deliverables. As ladies both just said, and we've repeated, practice, practice, practice. Get feedback on your practice. Those kinds of things will be really helpful as you prepare. We hope you'll register for the competition. We're looking for that by April 13th. And get ready for the best Solar Decathlon competition event yet. We hope you'll share your team's progress on social media. We've linked our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook here, as well as our 3 hashtags, hashtag Solar Decathlon, and then add the design or build to that. We hope you'll be using that. There's a design challenge bonus award for social media engagement. So hint, hint. I just want to say, I know you've done a lot of work to this point, but our students would agree that this presentation experience is really, really incredible. And I hope you take the time to make the most out of this. Our jurors are so excited to meet with you and interact with you. We've been talking to them, and this is just going to be a great experience. So with that, we'd like to thank our sponsors. Without them, we cannot make this event happen, and they're an important part of the competition. We hope you've used their resources, and if you use them, thank them as well at the competition event. So good luck, and let us know if you have any questions. We can be reached at Solar Decathlon at nrel.gov, sddesign at nrel.gov, or sdbuild at nrel.gov. Have a great day.